What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to our addition series of videos for the Pimp Master Bathroom. It is looking pretty good. We got the sheetrock on, which means we've got the insulation in, electrical plumbing in, and I need to put a pocket door in, and it's time to do it because I need to get the sheetrock on this front here. So I need to get the pocket door in place, and I figured I would make a video about that because it's a little bit tricky. And this is actually the second pocket door that we have in this house. We have one downstairs on the bathroom in the mudroom that we put in, and then we're going to have one on the master bath right here. Ethan is taking out the scraps of sheetrock for me, so we're going to get cracking on getting this pocket door installed. Obviously, how you frame it up is vitally important because you need to make sure you have proper spacing. So before you start building any walls, you want to make sure that you follow the instructions and get the clearance that you need in there. Now, this is adjustable. It goes anywhere from like a 24 or something to a 36-inch door. So we also need to make some cuts on there. And the camera doesn't really want to focus right now. The instructions aren't fantastic, I guess. They have a whole bunch of languages on there, but I think we'll be able to figure it out here. Anyway, we got to take it apart and we got to cut it down to those marks that I showed. And we're going for a 32-inch door. So what is that? 2'8", I think is what we're after. So I've got my job max here with the reciprocating blade and a metal blade in there. I had this tool up here because I had the rotary head for doing the sheetrock work. My reciprocating saw is out. I already brought that back outside. Could use a hacksaw if you need to, if that's all you have, because you need to cut the metal. So what we need to do here is remove this back bracket. We need to mark the wooden header and cut that down. And then we need to flip over and actually cut the metal portion 1 3/8 inches shorter than the wooden header, and that's so this bracket goes back in place. Now you might wonder why when I measure to the 2'8" is it 33 inches, and that's because when you build the frame, you make it in such a way where the wooden header will go back 1 inch further than the actual door frame. And I think that's just so that you don't see the rail as much if you look up through the opening once all is said and done. So hopefully we built that as it's shown in the instructions there. Now, measure 1 3/8 inches back from that point. 1 3/8 inches right here. Which just so happens to be about 8 3/16 from the end. Make a mark on the top here, just so we can get a good straight cut. Oh boy. I'm gonna measure this and make sure this is exactly what we want, which in our case is 65 degrees. So we got our full length all set, and then we're gonna cut the header back here, and we gotta flip it over and do the same thing over again. Evil. To put the door header bracket up in place, we're going to measure 81.5 inches because we don't have a subfloor. We don't have a subfloor. We don't have a finished floor. So from the subfloor, 81.5 inches. And we also want to measure to the middle of our stud here. And this is going to allow us to lift and hold this bracket into place. And then we can get over and adjust everything and drive some screws in once we have it held up kind of where we want it. Poke a nail in there. I'm sure a screw would work as well. leaving it out about 1/8 of an inch or so. I'd like to take a quick pause and thank Carolina for sponsoring today's video. You saw me wearing these pretty much throughout this entire video. These have a composite toe protecting your feet, and they are super lightweight and comfortable. I wear these heavier boots when I go hunting. These are insulated, and our whole family is outfitted with Carolina boots. And you too can save 25% off by using the code DIYTyler at the link down in the description below. That is a rotating category that will pop up when you click that link. Some of that stuff is already on sale, and you can save 25% off on top of that using the code DIYTyler. Get yourself a pair of shoes, get yourself a pair of boots, get yourself a pair like the kids have over there, and you'll enjoy them. Again, DIYTyler for 25% off. Okay, so these brackets go into these metal studs and then screws down to the floor. But you'll notice we have one end with holes, the other end, this is the other end, but it's flipped around obviously, does not have holes. You want the one with the holes at the top, so make sure you put these brackets into the end that does not have holes. Butted up against my header, which is where we want it to be. In theory, it should be right against my line down there if we are plumb. And we're looking pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. Zip some screws in there. That's why we had those tiny holes with some adjustment. And then we'll zip a couple screws through the bottom as well. And I don't have enough hands, so gotta grab some tools. Alright, so the second stud here is just going to divide the difference, which is 30 inches. So if we go right at 15, these are 1 3/4 inches. Yeah, 1 3/4 inches. So if we go 14 1/4, yeah, that'll give us a nice span. 14 1/4. Okay, from this one, you need to get it close with the level, and then we'll get it perfect once we get the top in place. Once you got your pocket assembly in there, you can see you can put sheetrock on, and then they actually give you some self-tapping screws to fasten the sheetrock to those metal studs. Now you want to make sure you go slow, because you're going to kind of strip out the whole section of sheetrock the whole hole that you have there. But then you'll feel that metal stud, and you gotta slowly drive. And you want to go slow there because once it does catch, it'll rip right through that sheetrock if you're not careful. But there we go. Sheetrock fastened on there. This is not going to be the sturdiest wall in the world because it is just those metal studs right there. But there we have it, pocket door installed. Obviously, we need to put the door in, but I don't have that yet, so we'll get to that later.
A little screw.
Once you got your door in place, it is time to add a handle. This is a handle with a lock in it, and it has a little kick out right here so you can grab the door out of the pocket and be able to actually lock it. This is reversible, so whatever way your door slides out, it'll work for you. Now I do want this to be the same as the rest of the doors in the house, which are about 38.5 inches. That'll be the center of the handle. A little accurate. Two and a quarter vertical, 1 3/4 in for this particular handle. Make sure you check because there are some that have circular holes. This is the one we're going to use here. And then I'm going to be using a jigsaw. Make sure you keep everything nice and square. If you do have an orbital saw, make sure it's set real low. Get your safety squints on. This is a hollow core door to match the rest of the house. So this piece that I cut off, I'm going to split off the outside and then glue this in here so we actually have a firm place to screw into. We got the handle in place with the latch down. I'm going to make a indent on the other side so we know where to put the pin, the acceptor, whatever it is. That'll do her. Works.